Hi, John. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. We're going to dive right in, John. So thanks again. The first question.
Yeah, it's not. Let's see if I can go to the show.
Hi, John. Alex here from TalkSport. Congratulations on a great main event.
Thanks, sir.
I just wanted to ask you really about how much it meant to you to work that kind of match with someone you have such history with in Eddie Kingston. The promos leading up to it were amazing. It felt like you really enjoyed telling that story, even if your body didn't.
Yeah, I love the whole thing. I think it was good. Felt like it was fucking good. Everybody seems to think it was good. I don't know. Maybe everybody hated it, but I thought it was fucking awesome.
It was.
The whole thing with Eddie has been really awesome. I guess I can say good things about him now because our beef is squashed for the moment. I have two headphones. All right. The whole the way this all kind of came about was kind of Lance. I get called at 2:30 in the afternoon, day of Dynamite. I had a whole other set of plans for Lance and ideas that I pitched that was going to go in a whole different direction, and then get to call Lance tested positive. Son of a bitch! Every week somebody's got COVID, whatever. So, what do you think about you and Eddie? Interesting. Jump right into this, and then he never choked him out. He never tapped, and then he's like, "I didn't tap," and it's like it just made perfect sense. I was like, I think we can. I'm telling you, dude, we can do me and Eddie. He's kind of new and he hasn't had a big name on the big stage for very long. I was like, I know this fucking guy. I know me and Eddie can sell a match. It's in 4 weeks. I know we can. I just had all the faith in the world, and I've not handpicked or anything. Any opponents, whatever Tony's put in front of me, whether it be every single title defense I've had, whoever he wants me to work with, I work with that person and do my absolute best to get them over and make them better than they came in with, and have a different style of match so that I can wrestle any style, high flyers, the technicians, the monsters, hardcore matches, wrestling matches. I can do any fucking style. I can do Bloodsport on Sunday and come in and do a crazy hardcore match on a Wednesday. I could do a dirty I Quit match like tonight. Just to show my versatility. But so I've whatever they put in front of me, I've taken. But with the thing with Eddie, I was like, yeah, man, I think we can do this. And Tony's like, let's do it. And we're talking about it. It was so easy. We just after we do the thing where he attacks me and he's talking all his trash, and I was like, dude, all we need to do is promos. We don't need to do any crazy angles. He doesn't need to hook my foot while I'm running the ropes or anything stupid. We don't need to overthink it. We can if you want us to fill extra TV time, but all we need is promos. He'll talk a bunch of shit for a couple weeks. I'll talk a bunch of shit for a couple weeks from my home or my training camp or whatever. And then the week before, the go home, we'll have a face-to-face. I sent Tony a YouTube clip of Nick Diaz, Paul Daly face off at Strike Force. So I was like, we'll just have this kind of atmosphere, And then it turned out even better the way we did it. And it's so easy. The segment we did the other night in the ring, show up at 4:30. What do you want to do? Face-to-face, talk for 6 minutes. Okay. Me and Eddie talk a little bit. I don't really know what he's going to say, but we know the story. And it was effortless because, you got to think about it and get in the mindset. But if I know story and you know story and we become that person, we just go out there and talk and sell it. And I absolutely knew that we could. And it just worked out great. And Eddie and me are both, we don't put on the uniform in the morning and take it off at night. Eddie Kingston is the exact same person outside the ring as he is in. And I am pretty close in the ring as I am in real life. There's not much difference with me and him. And we have so much history and there's so much real emotion there between us that it's just been easy and just a pleasure. And I love storytelling. I love physicality and the adrenaline and the danger and all that. I love that too. And the wrestling and, I want to get out there and trade some fucking holes, man. I love wrestling, but I love the storytelling. It's the most satisfying thing, when you visualize something. I don't know how it came off, but I was like, dude, I'll be like, you gotta fucking quit, man. There's no other way out. And just you're indignant and just same shot we had in the promo where I was behind you and you weren't looking at me. Give the fucking bird from behind like that. I don't know if it came off like that or not, but that was like I have shots like that in my head. Try to like visualize. I love this stuff's fun, man. So to answer your question, it feels good.
Thanks, John. Next question is from Louis Dangor from Wrestle Talk. Louis?
Hi, John. Thank you very much for taking the time. And just a quick note, how you wanted it to come off definitely came off the way it did with that flipping the bird from behind bit. But question I wanted to ask you, at the end of the show, we saw a bit of a tease, I guess, for you and Kenny after he won the Eliminator tournament earlier on in the night. Obviously, you guys have faced each other before last year at Full Gear. Any sort of indication when that match is going to be? Is it a set date like a Revolution next year, or is it, I guess, where the story goes? And how are you feeling about working with Kenny again?
I mean, I know the preliminary plans, but I can't reveal that, and that could change. We never know, especially in 2020. Shit can change. But yeah, definitely. Obviously, he's one of the best in the world, and sharing a ring with a guy that good is always awesome. So yeah, I just want to kind of bathe in the afterglow tonight for right now and have a couple beers. But when I get back to work tomorrow and then focus on that, and we have a whole new thing that'll be a whole different set of circumstances than the last time we had a rivalry together. Now we're two different places. We're in completely different places as characters, as wrestlers, and to be a whole new thing. So, that's a completely open book and a completely open chapter that we'll get down to working on.
Thanks. Next question is from Cassidy Haynes from Body Slam. Cassidy?
Hey there, John. How are you?
What's up?
I do have a question. Right before things went the way they did with Archer testing positive for COVID, they had stuff involved with you with Darby Allin and Will Hobbs. Are you guys hoping that you guys can return to that storyline at some point? Are you guys hoping that you can get back and work with Hobbs again in the near future, or maybe even another match with Darby sometime before the rematch with Omega?
Yeah, I don't know when, or I'm sure I'll always. Whoa, weird static. I'm sure I'll always circle in the orbit of Darby Allin as a partner or a opponent over the future. So, and I always down for that. And no secret what I think about him. And big fan of Will Hobbs too. And I was looking forward to giving him some spotlight and shine in that little 6-man, and it never came off. And by the time we got back to where everybody was healthy, it was like, well, now we only have another, like, there's no point in even doing it now. I had a whole plan for that match that it all went to the wayside. It would have been directions would have gone in a whole different way, but it just, there was like no point in doing the 6-man. But I mean, if next week you want to do a tag match I'd love to partner with Will Hobbs. I think he's got a bright future. I think he's got a lot of potential. So, I would love the chance to work with newer guys and kind of help guys get along and get whatever rub I can give people, whatever I have to offer, whatever my ass can do for somebody. I'd love to.
Thanks. Next up is Izzy from the Hot Tag with Izzy. Izzy, how you doing there?
I'm not hearing nothing.
Yeah, hold on one sec. I think she just needs to unmute her microphone. Izzy, you want to try that again?
Really dropping the ball here.
Could come back to you. Let's give her one more chance. Then we can come back to you, Izzy, if you like. But do you want to try again? All right, Izzy, we'll come back to you, okay? We're going to go to Nick Hausman. Nick?
What kind of operation are we running here?
Nick, you need to unmute your line.
John, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yeah,
John,
yeah.
thank you very much for taking the time. I was just wondering, Tony Khan recently spoke about how he has restricted talents from taking independent bookings because of what happened with COVID-19. What's your advice right now to independent talent who is trying to navigate the very rocky waters of trying to get noticed right now during the pandemic?
Yeah, that would be that's a tough question because the indie talents were hit really, really, really hard with all this, and that's another reason I did the show the other week. I felt like I really had a responsibility because I've been booked for that twice, and when Josh hit me up, Barnett, I know he's one of the smartest guys I know, so he's not gonna be running some 2-bit operation. Everybody on Bulletsport was tested as far as I knew. All that kind of group was separate. I took extra steps myself. I stayed in my own hotel. I made sure I got my own space. I was do everything I can, and I guess that's the best thing I could tell for people as far as staying safe, not just in wrestling, but in anything. If you're gonna do anything, you're gonna go to the grocery store or try to attend an event, or even if you come to an AEW show, you have to take a certain amount of we can make the show as safe as possible and put all the rules into place. But if you don't follow them, then what can we do? You have to take personal responsibility to make sure that you do the things you need to do, social distance, and I do as everything possible. I try to stay in my own bubble as much as possible in everywhere in life. So, but as far as getting noticed, and I'd say just that's a tough question, I guess. Take every opportunity and do whatever. If you got to drive 15 hours to get a tryout for a dark match at NXT or AEW or wherever it's going to be, or, you just got to keep your nose to the grindstone. And this is a tough time for an independent wrestler, but do everything you can as safely as possible and just now you're going to have to work twice as hard because the way the world is now, which sucks. But, it is what it is. And, I say to guys, look at Eddie Kingston, 18 years grinding, almost quit. But it's if he'd have quit after 17 and a half years, he wouldn't have got – he was so close, he was this close. He didn't realize he was 6 months away or less than a year away from main event of pay-per-view. You can't have if it takes 11 years to make it, you can't quit on the 10th year, no matter how tough that is. You can't win the 11th hour if you quit in the 10th hour. So just, keep your nose to the grindstone and just work and take every opportunity you can. But more important than that, take personal responsibility for your safety and others' safety.
Thanks, John. And last question, we're going to give Izzy one more chance here. Hopefully the microphone can work. Izzy, can you try to ask your question?
Let's just guess what we think our question was.
Well, we're not going to give up on Izzy. We'll hopefully come back. But let's try Stu Merrick. Stu from KTXXFM. Stu,
there you go.
John, congratulations on the win tonight.
Appreciate you.
You mentioned the stop and start of certain programs because of COVID-19 and such. You've dealt with it in your own circle as well. What's been kind of that guiding principle? What has kept you from getting too frustrated? Has there been a person that you've kind of sought solace from to keep you grounded and keep you in the game, so to speak, I guess, as far as not getting too frustrated about, your work being affected by this pandemic?
Well, I'm the world champ around here, and it's not my job to get frustrated. It's my job to take every opportunity and make it as best I can and tell stories. And I think, me and Tony have a good relationship, and everybody here does. And, it's a team effort. We just, since the beginning of all this crap, when I was stuck at home for a while or whatever, and they're filming in Atlanta, and it was all weird, and we didn't know if we are gonna do this pay-per-view, but he's like, we got to do the pay-per-view, and it's like, dude, like he was explaining to me the situation and the direness of the situation, and no, from the get-go, no pressure whatsoever. Like, dude, if you want to come, that'd be great, but if you pandemic, whatever, just no. And I was like, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. I'm ride or die with you, man. Let's do this because it's vital to the industry that AEW be a success for the whole industry, for as the good things that have all come from it across the board. So, but as far as those storylines, you just got to pivot. You got to realize in 2020, and for hopefully not into next year, whatever, however long this thing is around, the day of the show, no matter what show it is, everything can change because somebody can get sick on the day or pop for COVID or whatever, or somebody was in contact with somebody, and like you can't literally bubble wrap yourself. You might find out that shit, I was in contact with, and like now I'm off the show. Like that can happen. Like the whole card today could have changed, on a dime. And it's just, and I think fans are sympathetic to that and understand that, like, I know everybody would rather people be safe. And if we didn't get this match, we didn't get me and Archer that week, we'll do it in 2 weeks. No big deal. We'll do it in 2 weeks. We didn't have me and Cage on the one day. We'll do it in 2 weeks. No big deal. Like, you just got to kind of roll with the punches. And, Eddie is a guy who took, an opportunity and stepped in. And we have so many guys in AEW who are ready to step in on a moment's notice and take opportunity that, I got all these great wrestlers to wrestle. So it's easy for me. And it's, if I didn't get to work with this guy, this other guy presents a whole new set of challenges and a new opportunity for a different story. It's just an endless opportunity for different kinds of storytelling. So, and we got 52 weeks in a year, 2 hours every week. There's plenty of time to tell plenty of stories. So if you got to miss something here and circle back around to it, long-term stories are going to be a little tough for the next year because, like I said, anything can change at a moment's notice. So you just take it as it is and roll with the punches. It's my job to, try to bring, it's been my job in 2020 to try to bring stability in a very unstable world. And when you tune in for a distraction and inspiration, just fun is what you tune in to watch wrestling for. That's the best we can provide. So I'm trying to be like the Rock of fucking Gibraltar. Like, that Jon Moxley, no matter what is put in front of him, no matter what challenge he faces, he's going to find a way by hook or crook. He's the fucking champion. And I've been kind of the one stable thing over the last few months, so that's kind of how I take it. It's not my job to worry. It's my job to get shit done.